Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 264 of the Noclip podcast. We got a full crew here today. Frank in the house, the J Squad, and a bunch of new video games. Well, some of them are new to talk about this week. We hope you have enjoyed our Game of the Year splurge over the weekend. If you missed it, make sure you check back in your podcast app of choice or on the YouTube channel. We posted 3 relatively long podcasts about all of our favorite games of 2025. Did I say 2026 earlier? I might have. Who knows? I'm already doing it. Does anyone? You know, if you write the wrong date on the check now, you just have to add a line and it works. You know?
Oh.
The 5 to 6 transition is
a good
not
life hack.
super hard.
5-6.
No, I'm hoping that this is all done by we have to kill the 6-7 meme in the next 12 months. That is, so I know there's a lot going on, but I'd be willing to give up Greenland sovereignty if we can get 6-7 out of the culture.
That sounds like a bad trade. I feel like we're losing out on that one.
I feel like I'll start saying 6-7 if we leave Greenland alone. And you know how much that will cost me.
Yeah.
Think of all that land, though. Think of all that real estate. You could be, you know, I know you want to set up your beautiful northeastern American, abode, but how about a little bit northeastern? You know what I mean?
Farther north and farther east.
Get some polar bears.
It's okay when all the ice melts on the planet. It'll just be a bunch of little islands. That might be nice. It's like everyone gets their own little island. You can fight for it.
Is Greenland secretly a bunch of islands underneath?
Isn't it underneath all the ice? Yeah.
Is
it's not like one big landmass.
Well, I don't know.
Sorry.
You're not here for your geography lessons, are you, dear listener? I don't know. I'm an island boy, but Greenland seems too big to be an island. You know what I mean? Where do we stop? Is a continent an
island? Yeah, right.
Is Greenland as big as it looks on the map, or is this like a Mercator projection thing where it's actually tiny?
It's a Mercator projector.
It's still pretty big. It's still like, what is it? Like,
is it like a Texas?
2.5 times the size of Texas or something?
That's how we measure things here in the North American
part
of
Texas.
The world. Yeah. How many football fields is it?
It's I've actually find that really easy. The meters thing never clicked.
How many hamburgers wide is it?
Wait, what? You never got me. You're from Ireland. Does Ireland use the really?
We did, yeah, but we we adopted it at a certain stage. Like we had all these ancient ways of, measuring a cow's leg. And,
I guess that's true.
The average length of a piece of hay. Stone, we'd literally use. I was jesting, but Jeremy brings up a good point in that we do literally weigh ourselves in stone.
Okay. That's awesome.
Which is about as accurate as the length of a piece of hay. So.
I remember I knew a friend went to a different school in high school that I would go hang out at their school sometimes, and there was an Irish exchange student at this private school who was like, "Oh God, I've gained so much weight in America. I'm like point whatever stone heavier," and I didn't know the conversion, but I was like, "God, that sounds like so fucking much. Like you should go to a doctor."
If
you have to express it in stone, then I'm concerned for you.
Yeah,
it's not pebbles,
Yeah.
Thank God it's not boulders. He might be in real trouble.
That's such a caveman way of measuring things. How many pebble?
How many stone you weigh?
I think a stone is 14 pounds. I think it is.
Okay.
I think, nice round number.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as arbitrary as feet, where it's like, I don't know. I don't know if this is apocryphal,
That's
but
a
they're
good
like,
point.
oh, it was like the size of the king's foot at the time.
I'm pretty sure it was that. Yeah.
It was that. Yes, that was the apocryphal tale. Is it? Is that like? Wouldn't you want your king to have really big feet though, or would that be like a clown feet thing? You know the way like, being a bit heavier was seen as a sort of status symbol back then. Maybe having small feet was also good
in some cultures. Yeah, maybe back then. Who knows? Maybe he made his foot bigger, and like we all just think that that's not that big for a foot. But actually,
I've never measured my foot with a ruler. Now I'm curious. Like,
what's your shoe size? Isn't that? Do you guys not measure that?
Is that inches? Is a shoe size inches? Because you're about to blow
it's
my
different
too. I have no idea.
It's I'm a size bigger in America. I'm size 13 here.
Wouldn't it just be easier if we just all wrote down a number? just all
Oh yeah,
agreed?
try buying children's clothes.
Oh,
like
forget about
anywhere
it,
in
yeah.
the world. It's just like, I don't know. It kind of looks like she's that big. I don't know.
This is a 3.
She'll grow into it,
Yeah, right,
that type of stuff. You know who's going to grow into their big shoes? Our Battle Pass holders. Lil Toast, Lovepreet, Yacht, Dwayne the Rock Lobster, Anthony Thomas, Nico Passaterri, It's a Me, Ferrario, Senator Armstrong, Redredge, Harry Flanagan, Juice, Arno, Matt Pearson, Mark Rojas, Quote, Tucker Morgan, David McGarry, Goddison, Sven Hooster, Pez, Bone Mold, John Akers, Ewan Nate, Tim Robinson, Forrest Pruitt, Dark Insanities, Jonathan Kremen, just adding in some pregnant pauses here for no reason. Jonathan Kremen, Eric Hamilton Schneider, Christoph Fatui, Enox, Grizzly Mug, Cameron Laird, Zachary Snader, Alex Goucher, George Sikotis, Jacob, Godserve, Anthea Jan, James Med, and my favorite pill to take when I want to party, Ryson. Thank you all so much for your incredible support and all of our patrons over at patreon.com/noclip and patreon.com/noclip2. We have some fun stuff coming to 2 in the next month, folks. We're pivoting to op-eds. That's the pivoting to video is over. We're working on some stuff that's a bit higher production, bit longer production time, and hopefully stuff that you're vibing with, stuff that I know Jeremy and myself and the rest of the crew have wanted to get out. So it's pretty cool. We're gonna have some fun stuff landing this month. We've also got plans for got a secret thing happening in March that we're going to be building up to in February. That thing I was talking to that person about, Jeremy, with all the games, that thing. Yeah. We might have some fun with that in February or March. So keep your eyes peeled to Noclip 2. All right. Shall we talk about frogs?
Sure.
Frogs are cool. Sometimes they appear in the garden here and they mess up recordings of podcasts that I do here. Let's first talk about the frogs that like to jump. Big Hops. It's out. We talked about this. Did we talk about this? We played a demo of it or something last month, a couple months ago. I'm not sure if we talked about it or was it under embargo or whatnot. Jeremy, do you want to take this one from the top? Big Hops. It's a 3D, what do you call it? 3D adventure platformer? What is it?
Yeah, I would say that's accurate. I think Jesse has probably played more of this, but I'll intro it and tee him up.
Sure.
Big Hops is a 3D platformer from Luckshot Games. This is you play as a very cute, adorable frog, and you use your tongue to swing on things and your tongue to grab things and store items and throw items and climb stuff. It's got kind of like a little bit like a Breath of the Wild climbing mechanic in there as well. But it's got some very sort of I guess like schmovementy movement. Where's music start? Oh, it's the Big Hop Steam page. That scared the fuck out of me. I was like,
what's the Big Hop music sound like? It's like
it was. No, there was like a swell of orchestral music, and I thought,
oh wow,
I thought God had come to take me away.
Finally.
That legitimately frightened me. It's got this like I said schmovement, and I thought maybe I was being punished for it.
Yeah, stop using that word.
So it's got sort
we'll
of
keep
like
that. We'll kill 6-7. We'll keep that, and we'll keep friend slop. We like that.
Schmovement is that if that's not in Webster's, yeah, they should add it. It's got sort of momentum based schmovement kind of things. It's got a little, it's got like a Mario 64 Yahoo kind of thing where you jump and you get like a little extra little sauce on the jump. It's got like a wall run. It's just got like a lot of individual satisfying mechanics that together make for some just like really interesting kind of little movement puzzles. It's funny because I'm going to talk about another 3D movement platformer today, and we recently talked about Hypogea. I feel like there's been a rash of particularly good 3D platformers lately. Jesse, I think you were on this earlier than I was. I hopped on the bandwagon late to get credit,
so to speak.
Did you hop bigly onto the bandwagon?
Yeah, I used my
say?
tongue.
Bigly.
I leaped up there.
His big tongue.
Yeah, Big Hops is. I think it's phenomenal. I'm having a lot of fun with it so far. I think I'm about halfway through. I think Jeremy really got across everything about it that that works on a gameplay level. It's a 3D platformer with like just good feeling movement. It has this thing I like to call fidgety movement, where 3D platformers, the ones that are the most fun, at least for me, are the ones where between the things you want to be doing and where you currently are, you can press a couple of buttons over and over again to just get there a little bit faster. Not quite running, like running's boring. I don't want to hold a button to go between locations. But when you can, like in Big Hops, you have this roll you can do and you can dash out of the roll and maintain your momentum and keep basically just like frog skipping through levels. It feels great. Like it's one of those little things where it's like the better you get at it, the more used to it you are, the better you are at the rest of the game. You get better at judging how far the dash can go. Like it feels, if you've played Mario Galaxy or Mario Odyssey, Hop, the character in the game, has a dash that feels like that. You can do it in midair and completely kill all your momentum and just go forward in whatever direction you want. But you'll also still, like, you'll maintain your forward momentum, but you can stop going up. There's lots of good little movement stuff there, like Jeremy's saying. But I think I really like this game for the reason that I like a lot of good 3D platformers. I think there's this, and it's not a bad thing, but I think there's this trend in revival 3D platformers where the focus is on making areas that are fun to do the platforming in exclusively, like good challenges, things to do wall runs off of, and all that sort of stuff, like more focused on hardcore platforming. Big Hops leans, I think, a lot harder on what makes like Mario Sunshine fun, or what makes like a Hat in Time enjoyable, is going around and talking to characters and like the novelty of doing new things over and over again. Big Hops has a lot of moments that are harder, more challenging platform segments, but it also has bits where you're like doing a stealth mission through a base somewhere and like taking photos with a camera.
Oh,
and
really?
There's also,
Okay.
like it's way more involved than I thought it would be. I think the demo does a good job of introducing the platforming, but like everything else that I've done in this game that isn't just jumping around, which is still very fun, is such a like enjoyable, it's almost like a break from doing the platforming. And the platforming's great. Like it has a lot of allusions to other games in the genre, or like Sonic the Hedgehog bits. There's like stuff like that. Donkey Kong inspiration in certain points, especially Donkey Kong Country. You see that throughout the game. So I do think Big Hops, I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm having a lot of fun just playing it, just going through the world and seeing what's going on. I think there's like three main worlds that you can see throughout the entire run. The first one's this like desert area, which is there's like interesting little things you could do. I will say the polish on it is really, you can feel it in certain points. Like there's not enough polish in certain aspects of it.
Right.
Like there's platforms you can bounce off of and they maintain your momentum, but if you approach them with no momentum, you fall through the platforms. I've done it every single time that I've tried to do that, usually on accident, and it's not a nice feeling when you're doing a long platforming segment and you fall through. Or like I've lost a save that I think lost me like an hour or two of gameplay.
Okay.
It wasn't too bad because like now I'm better, so it was easier to get through it. But just little things like that. It's the sort of stuff that can be buffed out over time, so I'm not too negative about it. But overall, I'm really, really enjoying Big Hops. I'm excited to finish it, and I think it's probably my favorite 3D platformer I've played in years. I'm having a ton of fun.
I was about to say, it's my favorite game of 2026.
We're already there. Yeah. Game of the Year contender. I feel like I hate that curve of people bringing up Game of the Year. It's like from January to March, everything's a Game of the Year contender. Everything from like September to the end of the year is a Game of the Year contender. And in the middle, I don't even know what Game of the Year is. I can't remember. It drives me crazy.
I remember when I played the demo thinking, oh, it is a little bit rough around the edges. They must have some time left to finish this thing. And I will say, from watching the videos and the streams prior to recording today, I think it got a lick of paint. Like,
for sure.
Graphically, it looks, I think I played it 2 months ago, and I think graphically, I don't know if it's some sort of post-processing effects or distance or whatever it is, but it does seem to have gotten sharper. It looks really good. I wonder if also me playing on a massive screen doesn't help that. Is this, have you been playing Steam Deck? Because this feels very Steam Decky to me.
I've played it Steam Deck. I've played it docked Steam Deck on my TV and also on my PC. It's great everywhere. Feels good on all the platforms. I think like part of what I was worried about was there's like technical bits to it as well. It's not just platforming exclusively. Getting around some of the levels requires using this, I would say, almost like immersive sim style setup for interacting with the world. So there's these fruits and like other like objects lying around that you can pick up and put in your backpack, and you'll get more slots for your backpack over time. You start with like 4. And you can get these, like a ball that when you throw it at the wall, it shoots a zip line from the point where it attaches to the wall to the next perpendicular wall or whatever, like the closest one across from it.
Okay.
And it adds a little challenge and like lets you solve things in ways that you can't with just the platforming. And because there's that bag, you can like, I brought an item from a previous world like 2 hours earlier in the game that I wasn't supposed to have at a certain moment, and it let me skip part of a challenge because I brought an item with me totally on accident. Cool. Yeah, like I skipped over this whole thing where they're like, yeah, you got to do all this, man. All the characters are voiced, by the way. I think the voice acting is very funny, or at least charming. I enjoy it. And they're like, hey, you're supposed to go over here, man. What are you doing? And then I jumped over it. I don't remember if they commented on it, but I think they might have. They're like, I don't know how you did that, but that was kind of cool. So maybe that was
there
what
like a time on it or something?
No, it's like a barrier. Like you're not supposed to be able to get up there with what I was doing at that point. So yeah, lots of really cool interactions. I'm digging it a lot. I think it's one of those games that I'd have to see through to the end to see if it does enough with its systems. But so far, I mean, like I said, I'm about halfway through and I haven't felt bored at any moment in this game. It's so much fun.
Cool.
Yeah, the little bits of, like Jesse mentioned, like the platform stuff, I feel like those moments to me are so forgivable in this game because I feel like it does things that are very mechanically ambitious. Yeah, like even the fact that you're comparing this cutesy 3D platformer about frogs and like little like raccoons who make like little devices and stuff to an immersive sim, I think is telling. There were moments where I was very, very surprised that this wasn't just sort of a straightforward, like you jump and you wall run and you kick stuff and you do the Mario Yahoo. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. There's like a proportionality where it's like when I can tell a game is trying to do things that are mechanically ambitious and giving you a wider degree of freedom, I'm more willing to overlook moments where that, drives them into buggy areas because it's like, that as you widen the net of complexity, that stuff is bound to happen. And especially for an independent video game, it's like there's only so much you can do to catch every bug, whatever, like a week after release. It's
the same attitude I come into Stalker 2 with, where you're like, exactly. You guys are trying to do a lot here, so we're going to let that pass. Big Hops, yeah, available on PC, Steam 1 and 2, and on PlayStation 5 as well. So
Steam 1 and 2. You mean the Switch 1 and 2?
Oh, sorry, the Switch 1 and 2.
They got a Steam 2 now?
Yeah, if the Steam's so good, why didn't they make Steam 2?
Oh my god, he leaked Steam 2. What does he know?
I know, I just leaked. That's, oh no, all the stuff I saw at Valve. It was Steam 2.
That would be the worst fucking release of it. Because Steam is all about concentrating games into one place. They're like, let's add another one and complexify this.
Tabula rasa. We're starting from zero. There's no more. Your old library is on Steam 1.
There's no backwards compatibility, even though it's just it's a fucking exe on your computer.
Yeah, Steam 2 is for Source 3 games. That's
it's bright green again. You can only get Steam games on there. Yeah. They'll allow some on later in the future, and then they'll add a new green light system. They're just repeating history. Lazy.
There's a new version of Ragdoll Kung Fu coming out especially for it. It'll be the first non-Valve game that gets released. Ricochet's coming back.
I was trying to remember the name. Yeah.
All that good stuff. You know what? Let's split the indie difference here. And I'll talk about the one game that I've played that's new in the past week, or that I've newly played, which is Fortnite.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were at in Ireland, obviously for Christmas. I was over there for 5 weeks in the end, because I had to travel over a little bit early for some family stuff. And we were hanging out at my brother's place, and my nephew, who's like 11, I want to say, was playing Fortnite sometimes, and like I'll sit down with him and play FIFA sometimes, or we got them Lego Party for Christmas or for my brother's birthday, and we played some of that, which was good fun. But we decided to, he was just playing away in the background. It was my wife who was like reading Hamnet, sitting in the corner with a cup of tea, would like occasionally glance up and then watch him play for a while. And after a couple of days, she was like, I think I want to give Fortnite a go. Now, she's never like played online shooters ever. Like she plays lots of different types of games, but like, Jurassic World Evolution would be one she really likes. The 2-point stuff on PC. On console, she plays Jurassic World actually, and then games like, the Far Cry's she'll play. So she's used to like gunning fools down in first person, but has watched me play PUBG a bunch in the past, but has never played these games before. And so she started when we got home, I installed it, and then she started playing away. And then because she's been playing, then I started. She'd like, do you want to have a round? And then I'd play some Fortnite. And I can see why it's so addictive, because everyone on there is fucking terrible.
All the bots.
I don't know. Well, I think they do. I think the bots, I think they do a PUBG thing where they get, her character's level 68 or something.
Right.
She's played like hundreds of games. They're still not very good. I think they probably do the bots early. I know PUBG did that and stuff on mobile. Frank, what's your take on that whole thing?
Your first game, they give you bots. That way you get the dopamine hit of getting the victory royale. Your first time playing Fortnite, they also do it every time the season resets. So every time it's your first time in a new season, you're paired with bots. That way you get the victory royale. And then there's the pressure of like, if you play again, you can keep your crown. So that there was also a period where when I was like most into it, I was always trying to get friends to play, because if we got a new friend to join our lobby, that was a guaranteed victory royale. It's like, oh, hey, Jordan, make it count just for a second. Just get in here for a second. Oh, cool, we got a victory royale. You don't like the game, uninstall it? All right, we'll see you later.
That's devious.
So they always, your first thing, they throw bots at you.
That's a hilarious thing to do, because it's like you're not getting like it's you're just getting the dopamine. Like you're signing up for a free subscription. You're using their free subscription to get you just like dopamine, not like achievements or something. I don't know. That's very funny to me.
What is your take on the difficulty in Fortnite, Frank?
So the real like insane mode is if you're playing the original build mode.
Right.
So I don't know. This is during quarantine. Maybe
Are you playing ranked or unranked?
I never do. I never touched the ranked thing. But there's build mode, which is the original, where you're the term cranking 90s. You're building towers and it's insane. That is like extremely high skill level. Like it's insane to play at that stage, because you'll see people you'll shoot someone and then they will literally like construct a giant tower in like a millisecond.
And this is just to differentiate it, this is in not just because there is build mode and no build, but then there's also OG Fortnite build mode. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, I see. I'm like they always update, so I'm not as like.
So we found it harder in the no build. In the build one, it was just like people who were throwing up little boxes, and you're just like, okay, I'm just going to shoot through your shitty box until it dies. They weren't doing the whole go higher stuff. And then I turned off crossplay on hers because I realized that she was getting to the end of a lot of games, and then clearly you could see on spectator mode somebody was on a PC or using keyboard and mouse, I guess, on their console. So we turned crossplay off, but then it was too easy. Then on no build, it was like you get like 4 chicken dinners in a row. They were fucking terrible. And then so now she does predominantly no build with crossplay off to like even the playing field. But yeah, did you find it like easier than games like Call of Duty to like get to the end? You're playing in groups mostly though, right?
Yeah, like the most I was playing was like 5 years ago, and like, God, yeah, it was always easy to be like, I would say like the final 4 squads, and then that's when it feels like the real game begins. And then like depending on what season, every season has like a bullshit item that's like a one hit, like. So yeah, and there's different strategies, but like I do like the build mode, because like, a lot of times what will happen is people will be so concerned trying to build stuff, and if you just shoot the base, everything collapses. You can kill them with fall damage, or they'll be so worried with building, and it's like, I'm just gonna keep shooting. I'm not gonna try to build anything, and it's almost like who drops first. So I would still stay in build mode. I didn't like no build mode because my muscle reflex as soon as I get shot is to construct a tower, and so I like never unlearned that. So I kind of stopped playing when no build.
You're just kind of on the ground, flicking around, nothing's happening.
It's a genuine like a skunk, repelling whatever. It's a genuine like muscle habit, and so it's so weird to not have that. And my favorite thing when playing Fortnite is when you're driving a car with friends, you can still build. So I always will build ramps as they're driving to fuck up my friends, and then it's very funny to act coy, like, who's doing this? Stop doing it. Will someone's please like. So I like the Fortnite build just because of all the chaos and stuff, and I truly never really care who wins or lose. I just like smashing stuff with a hammer, collecting loot. Like that's the fun. The playground of Fortnite is generally fun because it's like you're shooting the shit with friends. Now they have music tracks you can play in the middle. You're just messing around shooting bots, and then the last 2 minutes is like, oh crap, okay, now everyone pay attention. But the first 20 minutes is like collecting. It's like very, very relaxing and fun and silly. So yeah, it's got I don't know. It's calm, very intense, and then reset. And then obviously there's sometimes when you drop in and you're killed immediately, and then you just go again. But yeah, it's always got a good rhythm to it.
Yeah, it's very Moorish. I can see why people keep playing it. like tactically, I don't find it to be coming from a lot of our creators' time as well. It's a whole other set of. There is some PvE stuff, like there's those bosses you can engage with and stuff like that. And, I like the way that they refresh the map and do all that stuff. I think that's an interesting way to sort of focus people, because having it on one map all the time definitely helps, I think, probably younger players and less experienced online players to get to grips with, where stuff is and all that stuff. And it's sorry, not Simpsons. I missed the Simpsons one. It's South Park related at the moment, themed. So if you grab your cheesy puffs, they heal your energy real fast.
Those are my cheesy poofs.
Exactly. There's lots of that going on. Lots of Mecha Cartmans running around from that one Gundam episode they did that time, I guess. I don't think I ever saw that one.
Can you catch Chimpokomon? Can you do that yet?
No, you can't. But I did see, they have the little like pets, like little, friends that'll follow you around. They do have one for Towley. So that's pretty good. Yeah. He is not smoking a reefer.
He's not asking if you want to get high all the time?
No, unfortunately
what's the
not.
Point then?
And his eyes are not bloodshot. So
man, they cleaned up Towley for
they
this
woke
game.
my Towley. How dare they?
They woked Towley. Woke has finally
They
come.
whitewashed Towley.
They bleached Towley. No,
They bleached. They what? Exactly. Yeah. How awful. Poor Towley. Rest in power. But yeah, it's. I see why people like it. It's popcorn. You know what I mean? Like it's just silly popcorn, and I get it, and the shooting's interesting. But yeah, I think all the stuff that I find interesting in there, which I have not touched at all, but from a purely sort of games cultural perspective, is the sort of more Robloxy stuff they've added in there, like all the custom games and that stuff looks.
Did you play any Steel of Brain Rot? Did you get into that?
No, my nephew was playing Italian Brain Rot levels when I was over there. Which were,
Did you parse that at all? Was that even like anything to you when you looked at it?
What? The brain rot
when your
stuff?
nephew was playing were you just like, is this?
I've Googled enough brain rot stuff. I know the shark, the Italian shark thing. I know that, there's a lot of.
I can't do it, man. It's like SCP, but way more boring. Like, I already found that not that interesting. So
what's SCP?
Oh my God. I don't have enough time.
It's a wormhole.
Yeah.
Okay.
The back rooms, it's kind of like,
sure.
That's part of that if you want to.
Okay.
That makes
all
it
that,
easier.
all that creepypasta weird internet
there you go.
shit. That's
it's also what kind of informed the lore of Control. Like that's pulling from the same stuff.
Yeah. Same sort of vibe. Yeah.
You telling me the shark with trousers is going to turn up in
the brain rot shark will be in Resident.
Great.
He'll be one of the enemies.
I think I told you I was at a flea market about 2 months ago, and there was this very sweet lady selling Italian brain rot figurines, and I almost bought them. Oh my God,
you should have.
I know.
Put that on Grailed, you'd be a millionaire.
It's a mistake. Exactly. That is the most Grailed thing I can think of, actually, isn't it? Is an Italian shark on a t-shirt or, with a free keychain or some shit like that.
I saw a shirt on Grailed that I really wanted to get, but it was $200, and it was a 2XL white T-shirt from one of the Harvest Moon games, and it was the protagonist of Harvest Moon surrounded by like a cornucopia, a wreath of different fruits and vegetables, and all of the romanceable women in the game were on the outline of the cornucopia, and I don't know, I just thought it was fucking tough as fuck. I just wanted it. Like it was $200.
Like a harem night out.
Yeah. There was something about it that had swagger of like all these cutesy chibi characters, but it was like this guy and all of the women with whom he has romantic relationships.
Wow. Why choose one, I guess? That
was sort of the implication of the T-shirt, is that this man was that he was a player amongst the very small village. That he was romancing every woman in the village. And
every chef, by the sounds of the cornucopia of food as well.
That's true.
It's pretty good. It's strong. $200. Sounds like something you could print yourself, I'll say.
That's a good point. I should just learn to screen print.
Right? 2XL shirts. You could probably just send them to some company. Although we had some weirdness where one of our shirts got taken down one time because they were like, oh, it's copyright, because it had like a drawing of a cartridge with like something written on it. And so, yeah. Woke's coming for t-shirts too. That's why we got to take over Greenland. They have all the anti-woke serum. It is in the ground. We need to drill for it. Drill, baby, drill. It has taken one podcast for us to settle back into Jesse puzzle mode. TR49. I guess, is this a adventure game, puzzle game? What are we calling TR49?
You can call it an adventure game or a research game or an obsession game, whatever you want to call it. I really liked your description of you started Obsession by Calvin Klein. No, you started it with calling Blueprints an obsession game or a game that teaches people how to have obsessions. I liked that a lot. I think that's a good description of what it is.
Thank you.
TR49 is the latest game from Inkle. It's out now, as you're listening to this. I got a little bit early. Actually, I got a lot early, and the holidays were so busy, I didn't get much time to play it, but I did play a couple hours of it. This is, if you've played any of Inkle's other games, like 80 Days or... did they do Pendragon? I think that's them.
Pendragon, I remember that. Yeah.
They've done a ton of great video games. Like, I think everything they've made at this point, I've enjoyed at least a little bit. Like, Heaven's Vault is one of the coolest games I've ever played. Like, if you like Chance of Sonar, you got to play Heaven's Vault.
They have such a crazy... God, I forgot
their catalog is all over the place, right?
It is, because I played both Expelled and Overboard as well.
Right. Those are great games. Yeah. Overboard,
not too much
Expelled from last year was great.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. They're prolific.
They've been going for a while, and I don't think they've ever gotten worse. What was the last one they did? Highland Song? Or the last one that I played fully? Highland Song? Oh my God, that game is life-changing. You asked what soundtracks we listened to outside of work from last year, from 2025, 2024. I listened to the hell out of that. I think that was 2023 when it came out, but it was like end of the year, something like that. Regardless, very, very good game. This one, TR49, their newest. This is it's kind of like all of their games. It's sort of hard to describe because they haven't done anything like this in the past for you to point to. Essentially, it is a word search game in some regard, like if that, not a literal word search, but like you're given this computer that you walk up to. It is like a one screen game. You can play it on iPad. I think it's on mobile as well, day one launch. You are essentially interfacing with this computer by browsing through a bunch of articles, but like they're corrupted, right? And the articles, in order to unlock what the information is in them, you have to figure out, one, what the title of the article is, and two, what the code to unlock stuff is. Like you have to get the title, but
cipher.
Sort of, yeah. The setup for it is it's a computer in the basement of the Manchester Cathedral, and you are working with another person outside of the building. There's no setup. You just immediately wake up, this person greets you, and you start working on this machine. You learn over time about what's going on outside of the world, and it's all sort of piecemeal delivered to you through this computer. It's implied that the computer isn't like alive, but it is sort of like a 1940s version of AI. They're not being coy about it either. Like they say this computer eats books, it consumes them, and then spews their information out back and like revises all of it. It saves lives, literally saves, like on a computer, but never the lives that deserve it. Only the rich and powerful. Like they are punching you in the face with the point. I love it. But the gameplay of it, I find really enjoyable, I think because of work for me. So like I'm saying, the way that you play this game is, yes, interacting and reading these books and sort of like piecing out what the code is. There's this next to the computer on the screen. There's this I don't know what the type of display is called, but it's like a flippy clock display. Google flippy clock display. You'll know what I mean.
It's a circular, like it's an old computer with like a almost pre-computer vintage looking computer with like a circular monitor, right?
Yes, circular monitor. But then the thing that you interact with is this where you can click and like interact and move the cursor around with your controller on these.
It's like a gear
words.
stick.
Yeah.
It's like a gearbox, I should say. Yeah.
It looks like that. Yeah. It's like a rotary dial pops up on the computer, and you have to pick a series of letters and numbers to make a code. The name of the game is also sort of telling you what you're looking for within it. TR49 is a code, and there's a bunch of them in the game. You have to figure out what they are, and you input them on this little dial rotator input machine, and then that gives you a page, but you don't know necessarily what the codes are going to be. Sometimes they're literally on the screen, and you have to type them in, but then sometimes you have to sort of parse them based on the information. So you have to actually read and pay attention to what's going on. I know, stop falling asleep, guys. Please stay awake. It's interesting, I promise. But it's like, it's one of those games where, it appeals again to me because part of my job when I'm working with like Matt McMuscles or other YouTubers where they're like hunting for information and trying to present a video in like a week, we have to find stuff that is gone. Stuff on the internet that like you have to search for, but like Danny, I'm sure you've been through this before where you've like gone on Internet Archive, or any of you guys really, you've gone on Internet Archive, clicked on a link, and the link in the archive page is dead. And now you have to play like internet detective to find the information you were looking for and figure out
this
what
is also
link to click on.
not that dissimilar to just what it was like using the internet before you were using it.
Oh, certainly. I'm sure back when it was back when you were 10 and I was just born, it was probably not too dissimilar to this. Yeah. But it was always like, for me anyway, that aspect of it, I think the game is obviously written from a sort of contemporary perspective, but also one that's examining the past of like the way that information was stored. I felt at times like this is the end of the internet. This is what happens to it. Like if the AI truly takes over, the singularity occurs. It's like all the information is on this machine and all the real information is gone. Because why did you need that? That's what we had the computer for. So I don't know. The act of playing it is a very fun experience. I have found it to be deeply, obsessively intriguing in the same way that her story was, of like typing things in, trying combinations and seeing what you find. And like sometimes the most interesting rabbit hole or thread that I find myself falling into while playing TR49, a game that's not very long, is when I accidentally type in a code and it takes me to a page I wasn't trying to go to. One that has no bearing on the progression of the plot, but is more information on the world outside, or the connections between different characters, that like the story is told from your perspective of reading this information, but also obviously there's, it's sort of like people are on a message board in their Wikipedia page computer. It's such a weird, unique thing that I've never played like anything like this before.
How long do you think it is?
If I were to guess, maybe 5-6 hours to get like a run.
Cool.
I played like 2 or 3 and it feels like I'm sort of coming up to something leading to a conclusion. They tell you what you're looking for pretty early on, but obviously the path you take is winding.
Just to clarify, you're using run. You're not saying this is a.
It's not like a
roguelike
roguelike thing.
Just to play through the campaign.
Yeah,
it's
just
about
your playthrough. Yeah, I guess is a better way of saying.
Excellent. TR49 available now at time of publishing this podcast. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. It looks it's got an interesting look to it for sure. How difficult would you say it is?
I mean, it's difficult in the way that all other games are, is that if you're not paying attention and like not actually reading and parsing what's being said, you're just not going to remotely have a good time.
Do I have a notepad? How about that?
No, the game actually has built-in document stuff. Like there's pages you can pull up in the menu that'll keep track of everything for you. You can do a notepad if you want, but like most of it, the words are highlighted on the screen. Like either they're literally highlighted and you can click on them, or they're bolded and like, please, the information is in a bracket. Please pay attention. Like it's trying very hard.
Excellent. TR49. There's a hyphen in there as well.
Yes.
TR-49. Frank, you've been diving into old computers yourself by the looks of the games you have on here. What have you been playing? Some racing games? Either racing in the sky or racing on the ground.
Yeah, they're kind of similar. Over the holidays, I've been trying to find a good racing game to play because I like having a game to grind, something that's quick to play. Like you start your day and when you end your day, and like I kind of exhausted Gran Turismo 7 like over a year ago, and nothing has really like scratched that since. But then I had the flash of a thought. There was always a game I've always wanted to play but never did, called Modellista, which was Capcom's racing game from 2002. I think like the USA port was finally like 2004. And I remember like as a kid flipping through like magazines and being blown away by the graphics, because it's like a cell shaded racing game. It has the same art styles like Jet Set Radio, but all the reviews since time began, all the reviews are always like, yeah, the game looks good, but it has the worst handling of all time. Don't play it. But I was like trying to find like a cool Japanese racing game, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just try it. So there's no retro achievements, but I still haven't played it. So I loaded up on the PS2 emulator, and yeah, I think Modellista is the greatest looking racing game of all time. And it's insane. There is no like fandom, love affair for this game. Like it's the kind of thing where it's like history got it wrong. Everyone was so mean to Capcom. This should be a series. This should be a flagship thing. It is truly like incredible. So it's Jet Set Radio graphics. It's got like faux manga lines as you're driving. Everything takes place in Japan. You're driving Osaka, Tokyo, Yokohama freeway. It's got like the initial D drifting hills you're going down. There's a level where you're drifting down the hills, and it's like golden hour.
Oh,
so everything,
no way.
It's like autumn graphics. The sun is like, I don't know how they're doing it 2002, but it's like the sun is like hitting you in the eyes, but it's so phenomenally hyper stylized, and it came out 2002 around the same time they were doing Capcom versus SNK 2. So it has the same announcer. It's like, all right, welcome to the Garage Life. Pick your car, tune your brakes. It's Modellista. And it's like, this is like the great, it's the amount of like it's definitely like style over substance, but that's what I like. I don't care. It's phenomenal. It's so good. So, and the progression of it's really cool. So the thing that makes Modellista really unique is the appearance of the game looks like an arcade game. Like, yeah, it's cartoon graphics, race, whatever. It is extremely sim focused, where you have to custom tune your car based on what race you're doing. So if you're doing a downhill race, you have to shift your suspension, weight, braking, grip, all that. If you're doing uphill, you have to change it. If it's a rainy track, you have to change it. So like the handling is insane because you have to specifically tune it for that mission. And it took me a few days of like Googling and trying to game facts, and like I think they did this for the American releases. In the game, there's a thing called like easy tune up, which is literally like you pick your car, tell us what race you're trying to do, and we'll just automatically tune your car. And knowing that, now I'm like, oh, I can get it. So actually playing the game, it does feel like every single map is on ice. Like you're skidding. God. You're skidding. But what's also funny is the AI has that same physics. So the AI is always spinning out and crashing. So it's like once you learn how to play the game, it's like, okay, I know how to play this now. The other thing too that maybe reviewers got wrong, I don't know, is when you start the game, your car sucks because you don't have any good parts. You're level 1 brakes, level 1 engine, level 1 computer, all this stuff. So it's like, I've experienced this now with lots of games. Like when you start, even Ace Combat, which we'll get to in a second, is like they give you the crappiest plane, the crappiest car. So it handles like shit because you have a crappy car. Once you start grinding the different missions and tuning up, it's like, oh wait, I can actually drive this better. And so like, yeah, it's like I'm falling in love with this game, even though there's no retro achievements, there's no remaster, there's no modern things to unlock. It feels good to go back in time and like pick up a game that everyone dismissed, said was bad, and pick this up like, oh wait, this is. Maybe it's bad, but to me, this is a 10 out of 10 game. This is incredible. Like
it feels like it looks. I cannot believe this is a PlayStation 2 game. Like that's
right?
Like graphically, it's like this thing looks absolutely insane. The frame rate seems pretty great too. With the graphics, but the art, it's the art design. It's like the way the like flowers pop in the grassland downhill one. The Tokyo highway, like the amount of buildings and lights that are happening on Osaka highway there is absolutely insane. Like there was no PC release for this. This is like
yeah, I think just PS2, Xbox, and I think GameCube. So just Capcom threw it out on every contemporary console at the time.
I wonder if there's something to be said for like a misunderstood game because it, like you said, it has that arcadey feel to it. And also I feel like on the PS2, unless you had Gran Turismo written over you at the top of your banner, which is sort of a fake sim, I always consider it, I can see how somebody would assume that this is just a shitty handling car game and not like something a little bit deeper. In the same way that like it took people a while to get around to the idea of a game like Dark Souls. You know, it was like, a difficult 3D action game? Aren't they supposed to be like power fantasies where I'm destroying 7,000 people in a massive Japanese field? So I can see how it could easily be lost to time. It looks dope. Have you guys seen this?
Oh yeah, I've seen a ton of this. The soundtrack's fantastic. I've listened to it a bunch over the years. The visual style is just off the chains. Yeah, it's sick. Like it's in that sort of Jet Set Radio vibe of visuals, but not quite as vibrant and like, you know, visual puke as I find, not in a bad way, not in a derogatory way, that I find the Jet Set Radio games. Yeah, Modellista. Yeah, I'm surprised you went back to this, Frank. I guess not because it's Capcom and you love Capcom, which is totally valid. But I'm surprised you went back to this one in particular. Why didn't you go play something cool like Midnight Club Dub Edition?
So I did download Midnight. I downloaded like 6 games on my Xbox. I downloaded Need for Speed Unbound. I downloaded Need for Speed Heat. I downloaded Midnight Club Los Angeles, which I did not know there was an Xbox 360 Midnight Club game. I downloaded Forza Motorsport. I downloaded. God, I feel like 2 more races. EA FWC. So it's a rally racing game.
Oh, okay. WRC. Was
yes.
it?
Yes. EA WRC.
World Rally Championship.
So it's, I think Jeremy mentioned the porridge effect, or like in his Game of the Year video of like, this one's too hot, this one's too cold. Where I'm like, I'm trying to find the game that like is perfect. And Modellista is like, oh my God, like that's it. Although I can dive into Forza in a second. This one's picking it up too. But yeah, Modellista, I think going to the Capcom Museum a few months ago and just like being reminded of it, it's just been in my head. And like, yeah, again, visually, it's just like there's just so few. The games that look at this are so few and far in between. That I'm like, God dang, I know I would. I like now I'm like, I'm sure copies of this game are cheap because no one cares about it. And now I'm like, damn, I want this game. So yeah, I really like it. I think I'm almost done. The main mode is called Garage Life, and that's where you're level 1, do these races, you get tuning parts, and you can get it. And by the end, you can go back and complete every mission. So yeah, it's incredible. So God, I don't know, I love it. I'm sad Capcom is never gonna like remaster or do anything with it again. They did one more racing game like 2 years after without that art style on Xbox. So it's like a kind of thing where it's like they didn't get that affirmation or approval, so they're like, oh, okay, we're not gonna do this anymore. And I'm like, no, why, please? So I don't know. And I'm sure there's like indie games that are like, there's so many drift games and like stuff like this, and I think there's a PS3 Initial D game that is close to this art style. It's Japanese only, but yeah, a full-blown cel-shaded game from 2002 that still holds up and looks better than anything I've ever played since is mind-blowing.
That's pretty cool. I love the idea that it has the the end of episode 1 and Initial D as a race, but like it doesn't have an Initial D art style. You know what I mean? Like Initial D is not cel shaded like that, and neither the manga or the anime. So it is cool that it was doing its own thing. You can pick a copy up on eBay. It's not cheap. It's like 35-50 quid for a PlayStation or Xbox One. There's also a GameCube copy here for $210. I bet that looks real good. I bet that GameCube edition looks real good. That's pretty awesome. And then, yeah, a little bit on Forza and Ace Combat. You said you were playing those two. Not as classic.
Yeah, so just same with the racing game stuff. Even the bridge to it, and I can get into this deeper. There's a racing game at round 1 called Wangan Midnight Maximum Tune.
Oh my god!
I'll drop in the document just so people can look it up. I had a friend recommend this to me. So again, I was just like literally trying to find Japanese racing games to just find something that had scratch Gran Turismo or Initial D or just get hit with something. And at round 1, this is produced by Namco Bandai. So I don't know if it's the exact same team, but it's the same lineage of Ridge Racer. So so again, it's so weird realizing like at the arcade, it's like, oh wait, there's new games being made that aren't on consoles that are actually good. You know, I was like, I completely ignored this whole scene for so many years. So Wangan Midnight Maximum Tune, again, similar to Initial D vibes. It's got a career mode. There's like manga characters talking to you as you're driving. Same thing. All the tracks are in Japan, but the soundtrack is phenomenal. The soundtrack is by the guy who did Streets of Rage.
No way!
Yes, and all the music's on iTunes or Apple Music.
Boy.
So I forget it's like
Yuzo Koshiro. Yeah.
Yes. So it's a little different. Like Initial D has a very significant like Eurobeat feel. This is more like city pop. But I was sitting down at the cabinet at round 1 playing this, and I was like, oh my god, this music's incredible. What the hell? And so I started listening to that on its own, and it's phenomenal. So then I started playing, again, looking for my different racing games. I booted up Forza Motorsport. This came out in 2023. It's on Game Pass. I remember when this game came out, I was interested. It's the more not open world Forza. This one you're just picking your race courses, doing that. I guess more simish. I don't know. Remember Jeff Gerstmann talked about in his podcast, there was a insane roadblock with this game where you pick your race, but before you can do the race, the game forces you to do practice laps. And like, so, which ultimately means like you have to do the race twice, which seems like such an inflated waste. Like, why?
You would not like Formula 1 games, my friend. You got practice 1, practice 2, practice 3, then qualifying, which is 3 sections, and then you get to race.
That's crazy. I mean, again, if it's, yeah, so that makes more sense with the context. Yeah, because like I was just looking for like arcade. Let me just get in a race like Gran Turismo 7. In 2024, like many months after the game came out, after like the sales window, they patched that's like, okay, you can skip the practices. So I didn't know that. I downloaded it, and I remember that was the block, and I was like, let me try it. And so immediately I could just dive into races. The thing I like about Forza Motorsport, I'm already caught up with Horizons. There's one this year coming out in Japan. With Forza Motorsport, it's still connected to online servers, so you can download anime skins to your car. So I have that. There's no sound. It's very fun. I don't know if it's like this with F1 games too or other more sim racing games, but there's like no music. It's just the sounds of the cars and the engines.
Yeah, totally.
So it's like, oh, so I'm listening to the Wangan Midnight Maximum Tune city pop Japanese like music, playing Forza with an anime car. And even though this is not a Japanese game, it's like, oh, this is this is scratching that itch because I'm
So
getting achievements, I'm getting progression.
This is how you solved your porridge problem.
Yes,
Is you just
yes.
made your own weird sort of version of Forza.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm picking like Toyotas. I actually have the like
Nice.
1985 like hatchback little like initial D car, and if you go on online, look at the anime skins, like everyone's made the initial D like thing. I have some random car that's like Pepsi, and it's a bunch of like anime bikini girls on it for whatever. I just grabbed that. I was like, great, that looks good. Have the Midnight 2 music. I'm getting XP. One thing that's really funny with Forza Motorsport is like during the race, you get points based on how well you do like segments of the thing on a 1 to 10 to scale. Your car has an XP bar, and like throughout the race, your car levels up.
Wow.
So
That's
I'm
fucking
getting this
awesome.
so I'm getting this like Call of Duty dopamine while playing like psh, car level 7, psh, car level 8. So it's like it's enough where I can play a mission for 10 minutes. I'm leveling up my car, and just like Modellista is between races, you get car points, abbreviated as CP. Which Call of Duty also has CP. Melty Blood has all these games have it. What is it? You can then tune up your car so it gets stronger and faster. So it almost feels like a roguelike in the sense of you pick a racing series. Okay, you can only use these 5 cars. Pick one of these 5 cars you want. Boom. Pick your anime skin. Boom. Do a mission. And then you can upgrade your car. And so I'm doing this racing series. My car is getting stronger. When I finish the series, I'm done with that car. I go to a new series, pick a new car, pick a new anime skin. And I'm like, oh, by mixing elements and knowing what I like from my research, it's like, oh, I found a good racing game for right now. So I don't know when I'll exhaust it. Maybe by the time Forza Horizon 6 comes out or something else. But I'm like, this is good. My brain was like racing for a month trying to find like what's the right racing game. Modellista is perfect, but there's no achievements, but it's good. Forza Horizon, I started it within like an hour. I got like 10 achievements. And it's like, oh, cool, great. I know this is all nonsense. None of this matters. But like when it comes to like things I like in video games, it's boop, boop, boop. It's like, oh, this is perfect. And then I still want to keep going to round 1. And the nice thing with discovering Wangan Midnight Maximum Tune is I experienced this. I think I went to round 1. Yeah, I think it was Saturday night, so it was a little bit busier. I get there, the DDR machine, there's a line. Okay, Beat Mania, someone's on it. I walk around. Oh, there's no one on the racing game. All right, let me sit down. It's like picking gym equipment. No one's on this machine. Let me race here a bit. I did a thing.
You got to wipe it down too afterwards. So it's
I was
perfect
just gonna
comparison.
say they gotta wipe that shit down.
You should. Yeah, I had a friend tell a story that a kid like peed in one of the racing seats.
What,
boy.
dude?
Hey, so you
What
never
game?
know.
That must have been a good racing game. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know.
Holy shit.
I don't know. I don't think they say which one. But
Kid shot his pants because he thought it was real.
are the vibrations? I don't know.
Whoa, sure it was.
Just pee. Yeah.
So doing Midnight Racing Tune, whatever, is good at the arcade, and I can still do DDR or Beat
Racing
Mania. But now I have like 3 games at the arcade I can like bounce around if there's a line
Brilliant.
ever gets filled
It's like
up.
the elliptical
So.
machines in the Fox
Yep.
News headquarters
Yeah.
gym you go to. Yeah,
And still, that my room is still completely empty every time I go. Sometimes there's people like doing
time.
yoga in the same room, but it's
in their
it's
Charlie
nice.
Kirk shirts or their,
Yeah.
their-
It's funny enough, in that room with the no Fox News TV, no one in that room is wearing Charlie Kirk shirts. But if you go in the
Right.
other room, it's like God, guns, and family in that order. So they're like that. It's like
God, guns, and Greenland.
Guns
At least
before
keep-
family, baby.
Keep the alliteration going, you
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
numbskulls. Do you know what version of Wangan Midnight Maximum Tune you're playing? There are
wish
over
I
a
took
dozen, according to
right. So
Wikipedia.
I wish I took a picture of it. It's either 5 or 6. I think it's round
okay.
1 is always keeps it up. So I think it's 6, but it could be 5. But yeah, it's that in itself is cool. Again, just like with DDR, you can get the Namco Bandai card, whatever.
yeah.
You scan it. You pick your car, you get your license plate, and then every time you play, just like Forza or Modellista, you unlock car parts. So it's like, oh, okay, now you've got this braking computer. Your handling's better. So it's the kind of thing where it's like all arcade games now are doing this. Is like they are for like player retention. It's like come back to this machine. That way you get progression. So it's like, oh, cool, I like that. So and then and then you can play with other friends. So now I'm trying to get my friends to play this machine. And I don't know, it's kind of fun. Like it's been cool to like rediscover arcades again and just see what's there. And again, I want to look at the development history of this series because Ridge Racer is like a dead series too, but Namco is still making racing games. It's just now called Wangan Midnight, and like even Japan still you can still find original Ridge Racing cabinets. And I think when I go to Japan this next trip, I really want to see what are the arcade racing game scenes because in Akihabara you have all the cars with the Yatashis and anime skins, but like it's kind of cool seeing that reflected in the video games too.
Yeah, check out what the latest version of One God Midnight. Apparently, they're working on Speed Ignition is the next one that it'll be coming out. But there's little known about it. The first one came out. One God Midnight is I never watched it or read it, but it's a manga and anime. Maximum Tune started in 2004. Way back when. So, yeah, they've been running for a good while. Something tells me I've seen these machines before. I've just never, like... The name I don't think is sticking in my head.
Like Wangan? I don't want to play
Wangan Midnight. Maximum Tune. That's just like, it's a lot of words.
There's a meme that came up when I searched One Gun Midnight, which was it says initial D, it's not the car, it's the driver, and then it says One Gun Midnight, it's not the driver, it's the car.
That's great. That's brilliant.
I like that it's an inversion of initial D, where it's like the characters are the cars, the people driving them are almost secondary.
That's great. Oh yeah, initial D is all about yourself and like. It's like, what's the other one I watched? There's a great Japanese Formula 4, I think it is, manga or anime, and it's so good. Future GPX Overtake. It's fucking brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I think they only did one series of it. It's Japanese Formula 4. It came out in 2023. It looks incredible.
Oh yeah.
It's really good. It's I think there's only 10 episodes, 12. Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. And it's all about like, it's like Dragon Ball. It's all about like just training and preparing and being in the moment and doing the thing. And your friends around you help, It's fucking you've heard of anime, right? It's one of those. It's a good time. Thanks for checking in with us and all that good stuff, Frank. There's a lot of classic games to check out and have a better idea of. Modellista, I will say, I'm glad that is now on my radar. I don't think I had ever really seen that before. Jeremy, you are playing a game that came out probably during our Game of the Year stuff. Is that fair to say? It was like sometime in December last year.
Yes.
Another 3D platformer, but this one, dear Lord, it looks like, I don't know how to explain this. It looks like the Sonic in-between level puzzle from Sonic 2, the racing one, where Tails is running behind you, had a baby with like a modern 3D platformer and an Amiga like demo.
It had a baby with Balls 3D.
Yeah, if you were playing Balls 3D in one room and then a Sonic 3D platformer in the other room, and you had an IV drip of DMT going into your arm, then the result you would get is Eternity Egg by Userlands. This is a game I've been following the development of for a while just because it has a really unique aesthetic and visual style and like presentation. It's very it's like something about the use of color and the use of the materials and their sort of like their like roughness and the reflective qualities of them. Everything is kind of like shiny, like everything looks like it would make like a squeaky noise if you rubbed up against it. I don't know how to explain it other than that. This is in early access, so I have not played a ton of this because I feel like my brain only gets one go at a game, but I wanted to check this out a little bit just to see if it was as cool as I thought it was going to be, and it is. This is it's a 3D platformer. You are sort of like a jester type figure. You have like a staff with a bell kind of thing at the end, and you use it to just beat the shit out of weird like DMT jesters who attack you. The game handles amazingly. It has, again, sort of like momentum based things. You can do sort of like subsequent jumps to gain momentum. You can do like a jump up and hold attack, and you float midair while it charges up, and then you shoot like 100 feet across the room with a sort of thrust attack. And all that feels very good. But the thing that I think is notable about it is I would love to interview Userlands. I don't know if they would want to say this on camera. I feel I truly, let me preface this by saying I hate when people see something weird and they're like, whoa, this guy must be like doing drugs. Because it's such it undercuts so much the creativity of the person that it's like, when, because, like the Beatles were doing drugs, but that's not the reason their music is good. It's not the only reason.
Well, the drugs wrote the songs.
Yeah, exactly.
They stopped doing drugs at the music got worse, all right? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that is a good point, actually. As has happened to many artists I've loved over the years.
They got rich. That's what happened. They had nothing to sing about anymore for the common people. Rappers, same thing happens.
That's true.
What's Snoop Dogg going to tell me about the streets.
I think
He's
it's
a
Andre
millionaire
3000
for-
said it best. I'm 40 years old, man. I got nothing to rap about. What am I going to say? I got a colonoscopy? Like, who cares? You really want to
Yeah,
hear
he
about
just started
that?
playing the flute and fucking around on the piano.
Shit goes crazy though. I can't lie.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
album is fun.
No, respect. Like if you're an aging rapper, I would much rather see you release a flute album than pretend to still be like pushing against the system while you do a special with
Hey,
Martha,
Eminem,
Martha
tell me how
Stewart.
you hate your mom and you're 50.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know?
for sure.
I'll see you at the Riyadh Festival. All right, man. Whatever.
Did he do that?
No, that was a comedy festival, but
Yeah,
there
it
was
was a
like a
comedy,
music
yeah.
thing going on lately where I think Ludacris was supposed to go, and I think he just signed on because they were like, "We'll give you $2 million," and he was like, "Yep." Was alimony
If you
payments?
bring
No, I
the
don't know
big
what he has to
hands, we'll give you $3 million. If you
Sing
wear
Get
them
Back,
the
and we'll
entire
give
time.
you the whole. We'll give you all of Qatar. We'll do whatever you want, Luda.
Anyway,
Sorry.
so no, that was well worth the detour.
This game kind of looks like the ludicrous big hands.
It does.
Actually.
I could see this being a music video in the late 90s, early 2000s that was on right after I came home from school on TRL.
Yeah.
But there is something about the intro cutscene to this blew me away so much because it is again, it's to say like, well, this dude must be taking drugs. It's such a trope and I hate it so much, but legitimately like the intro cutscene to this has moments in it that are one-to-one analogous with experiences that I had on psychedelics years ago that are and like things that are not like tropey where it's like, whoa, and then the walls started breathing. Not shit like that. Like hyper specific. Like the sky shattered and there was like a large being behind the shattering that like reached through the like hyper specific, weirdly specific tropes that I was like, holy fuck, like I've never heard anyone talk about this. And I don't know, maybe they don't do drugs. Maybe they're tapped in a way that I could not without, taking some fucking Hate Street acid or whatever. But
Maybe
goddamn,
you
it's-
both read the same, drug writer's account of something that happened.
Maybe
A long time ago. You're-
that is, I think, a very rational explanation for a lot of this stuff. Though I could not pinpoint a specific reference that resembles that particular experience. Anyway, it could also just be a weird coincidence. But anyway, it's not out of the realm of possibility that someone just came up with it. But regardless, the aesthetic, the weird gestury shit, the like eyes that are everywhere, the colors, it just has this. It is psychedelic in a way that most psychedelic media, especially games, to me, sort of falls flat and feels like it's like pastiche, or it's like underselling what that aesthetic is, or it's too like too cutesy, or it's trying too hard to be like, whoa, does it look weird when I move my hands like this? This game is just like fucking weird and gestury and psychedelic in a way that I think is so unique and interesting. And so yeah, I only played maybe like 30 minutes of it because I was like, okay, yeah, fucking, I'm gonna play this whole game. But I wanted to put it on people's radars, and if you are someone who likes to play games multiple times or play early access games and then come back to them, then it is available now. But yeah, Eternity Egg it's fucking awesome. This game is so cool.
Nice, very cool. $20 on Steam. According to the Steam page, it will be in early access for between 6 months and a year. And early access is to improve, refine core gameplay and mechanics by gathering feedback from player community. So, still chopping away on how it feels and everything, but sounds like you dug it. What are you doing in it? You're just jumping around, fucking hitting shit.
Yeah, mechanically it is very sort of through 3D platforming. You start in an area after the intro cutscene, you go in, there's a bunch of enemies, you have to hit a bunch of switches by sort of schmoving between them. And yeah, it's
combat.
There is combat. Yeah, you're hitting weird little fucking entities with your staff and doing stuff like that. But yeah, and just everything about like the UI is so like weird and sort of like not telegraphed. It's like very symbol driven and stuff. Everything about it is just very interesting. I like when a game just is doing its own thing so hard that when opening a menu feels like nothing, that's usually ideal. But when opening a menu is like, oh, this is interesting, like that's fucking, it's like editing. We always talk about how the best editing is invisible. Like if you can see your eyeball, something's fucking wrong with your eyeball, right? But like if your eyeball is a kaleidoscope, then maybe something is right with your eyeball.
I want that on a t-shirt. That's fucking amazing. Sorry, I'm the only one who laughed very loudly at that.
No, that joke was specifically for you.
Holy shit. If your eye's a kaleidoscope, then maybe there's something right with your eyeball. That's fucking beautiful. Stick that on the box, fucking Eternity Egg. Unbelievable. There you go. Userlands, Eternity Egg. Check it out on Steam right now. Very positive. All reviews. 445 reviews. Gotten a decent amount of heat there. That's pretty cool for a game that looks like if you saw it had 10 reviews, you go, yeah. Just based on the screenshots. I'm definitely gonna play this. This looks completely fucking deranged. I'm all about it. Big Hops. There's no combat in Big Hops, Jesse, right?
No, not really. I guess you could argue eating the bugs is somewhat combat related, but yeah,
Crime.
no fighting.
Crime.
Yeah,
Terrible.
I feel bad when the bugs die in Big Hops. Do you feel bad when the bugs die?
the bugs die.
So you can
When
eat
you
the
eat them.
bugs.
Oh, yeah, they
you
make
can
like
eat
a
them,
little.
but like if you pick up some of them, it'll be like, oh, this bug is red. Sometimes red bugs are poison in nature, and you can throw them. And when they land, a little like skull sprite comes out of their dead body.
Oh, I've never done that. I just eat all of them right away. I don't even
Even
think
the
to do
ones that
anything else.
just fucking the frog says it's poison.
That's all right. You still eat it.
Were they poison?
I ate the dung beetle. I picked up poop and then I ate the poop. And then I pooped out more poop.
All right. Well, Jesse ate the poop, but I threw the poop away and it died. And
You're
I
a
felt
fool.
bad.
You're a coward.
Did you throw it hard? Because maybe it was close to death anyway. If it was that spongy, it turned into a skull.
That's true.
Yeah.
I threw a ladybug and it died, which I don't think that would happen in real life. So
It'd just fly away, wouldn't it? It'd be like,
a
yeah, I'm
mercy
free.
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
It's not a fainting goat. Speaking of animals and bugs and birds, I was playing Alba again with my daughter. I think I talked about this before. This was I think it's called Alba: A Wildlife Adventure. Maybe is the full title for it. It is a 3D. So it's like Zelda. You're a 3D Zelda where you're a kid and you take photographs of animals. Like you're just exploring a land and doing little quests with like little people with like text bubbles that pop up and stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to teach her how to do thumbsticks at the same time. So it's a good way to, it's like an easy platformer and you have to aim the phone at the bird and you're like, it's a snowy egret and you get some points for finding the thing. So she's into it.
I always
This is
confuse
cute.
that game and Tchaya or Tchia,
Yes.
however you say it.
100%. Yes. I have similarly, I was playing it with her yesterday and I was like, oh, what about that place? And then I was like, that's from Tchia, or whatever, yeah. Which is not a great game. And a similar thing. It's a very sort of nature-focused 3D platformer where you play as a child girl. Like, yeah, they're not all that dissimilar. I will say that one is way more mechanically complex.
Yeah.
And you can turn into shit. And she used to love watching me play that, but it was just like a bit too much because there's combat in that as well. So, yeah, there's a bit to do. Cool stuff, though. Cool games out there. The year is just warming up, folks. And that hasn't stopped you sending in some emails, though. Frank Howley, what we got from the good folks here in the NoClip community?
Yeah, if people want to send us an email, please write to us, podcast@noclip.video. Our first comes from Bilbo Backshot. Asks, what's a gamer...
Wait, whoa. What was his name?
Bilbo Backshot.
Oh, okay.
That was a great name.
Bilbo Backshot. Is that Bilbo Baggins' like YouPorn community name or something? Is that who's he giving backshots to? Anyway, sorry, go on.
What's a gamer gripe you never quite understood or never had issue with? I was thinking about people having meltdowns over yellow signposting in a lot of games. This has never bothered me, and I'm not sure why everyone hates it so much, as I find more and more that I would prefer that over wandering around for ages unsure of what I'm supposed to be doing. And frankly, I'm getting older, and there are more games where it's getting harder to discern what is the correct path in a given environment, especially bigger budget games. I sometimes appreciate when an area is just a network of corridors instead of a giant sandbox of nothingness.
Yeah, I mean, if those are the two extremes, I agree with that for sure. I can't think of anything in particular, the gripes that stick out to me. Because
How do you feel about the yellow thing?
Yeah, that's a good
I
point.
got feelings about this
Yellow
shit.
paint is so interesting because on the one hand, I hate it. Like, as someone who understands the language of video games, I can parse it well enough that I don't really need it. I'm usually good at being like, the other signposting works for me. But then I watch my wife play a game and I'm like, no disrespect to her. She's fucking one of the smartest people I know. But she'll be playing video games and I'm like, don't you speak French? How are, in the video game version of that, you don't speak the language of this world. How dare you not understand it? So on the one hand, it's like, yeah, obviously I don't need that, but there are people for whom that is a necessity. You do need those large signpost things. There are other ways of doing it for sure. In other games, it's worked like that. Like The Last of Us is pretty well regarded and widely. I know a lot of people who don't play video games who like that and can play it because they do a lot of that visual signposting. But for big open world games, it's hard to, how do you do that, right? Without distracting players in the wrong ways. I don't know if there's a better solution necessarily, but stuff like that always sort of gets poked and prodded at as being like distracting to people who are so good at video games they don't need it anymore.
I think that's why the reaction to the yellow paint thing, I think, says more about the egos of gamers than it does about game design. I think it's like, hey, guess what, everyone? Everything is yellow paint. Games are designed to tell you where to fucking go.
Go into a train station, man. The real world has yellow paint. You just don't notice it.
But wait, hold on. Let me. There's an important nuance point here, which I think is that yellow paint if you're playing the like Final Fantasy VII remake
Rebirth,
and you're in the middle of fucking nowhere, and if you're the bottom of a cave that no one's ever been to, and there's yellow paint all over the ledges, it's fucking stupid. And it's not because it's signposted and it's like, what is this, a baby game? It's because it is not a creative solution to telegraphing. I think that my gripe with the yellow paint is not telegraphing, and it's not the communication of information, because that is part of the language of game design. I think that you can use lighting, you can use color, you can use intensity of color, you can use hue and saturation, you can use contrast, you can use chiaroscuro, clair obscur in French, I believe. I just learned over the Game of the Year stuff. There are a million ways to solve this thing that are not yellow paint. And I think that like when you're playing God of War and it's like, we're in an ancient Nordic cave, no one's ever been here, and then it's like there's a guy painting fucking like safety strips on like it's the fucking metro, it doesn't make any sense. And that is what pisses me off.
It is frustrating, certainly. I completely agree. Totally. I think the funniest games of the last couple of years that are not necessarily the games, but funniest moments I've noticed in these games is like sometimes there will be a comedy bit. Like I think Lab Rat, a puzzle game that I featured in my Game of the Year video on Noclip 2, does a joke about the yellow paint, and sort of tries to do it in-universe, tongue-in-cheek, like, I'm doing this, but it's okay because I put the yellow paint on the ground over here. You can find the paint can with the yellow paintbrush on it. There's some other game I can't remember the name of, but it's a funny bit, but I totally agree. It's a very frustratingly simple solution. It's like when movies, you hear about the Netflix thing of a bunch of writers and directors have been like, Netflix tells us that we have to repeat the plot of the movie 3 or 4 times, otherwise audiences aren't going to pay attention. It's like, you're solving the wrong problem here. Like, make the movies more interesting. You won't have to, I won't look at my phone while I'm watching it. The Gray Man was boring, not because they didn't tell me who the Gray Man was 9 times. It was because it sucks shit. I'm sorry.
Totally. It's like there are TV shows you have your phone up for. Like I started watching Pluribus last night. And like, you can't take your eyes off it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or like one battle after another is like not. It's like. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I think that distinction is important. I think people seeing it as a lazy way to solve a legitimate design challenge is fine.
Yeah,
but what I hated was that the conversation turned into people are putting up look. I'm playing Fortnite right now. Do you know where the loot is in Fortnite? Like, you play PUBG, you play Arc Raiders, you're like fucking searching all over the place. In Fortnite, they have big fucking golden chests that make noise when you're near them. And the UI tells you when you hear things. So if there's someone walking around you, the UI in Fortnite shows you the footsteps. If there's someone shooting far away, the UI shows you where the shooting's coming from. And if you're near a chest, it does the same fucking thing. It's like the most frictionless, like, experience of like looting or searching for people to kill or trying to stay away from people who are trying to kill you. So
you know what's interesting about that though is that's sort of the other extreme where it's like if you're doing it in a very immersed way, yes, I think that's cool. And if you're doing it in a way where it's like there's a blue chyron that surrounds the treasure chest and it's glowing, I think Quake that's 3, more respectable. Right? But the yellow paint to me is like it's like when someone says like I don't want to be racist, but it's like no, just if you're just like either say something racist or don't say something racist. Yeah. Like they're like totally. I don't mean to be rude, but and it's like no, whatever you're about to say, just be rude to me or don't say what you're gonna say. Yeah. Like fucking give me the giant blue glow or figure out a way that's clever. Don't just fucking be like I don't know.
So you're saying people who use yellow paint are like the centrist racists of video games?
Yeah, you fucking love yellow paint fence sitters.
Fence sitter motherfucker. It's easy to sit on it when it's painted yellow. I know where to go.
Yeah.
Or to me, it's actually a more of a liberal solution to a problem, where they're like they acknowledge that there's a problem, and then the solution to it is so milquetoast that it absolutely like creates 4 other problems.
Yeah. Homelessness is a problem. What if we gave them 1 bowl of soup a day?
No. What if we made it so that they can't sleep outside?
Yeah, what if the benches were covered in spikes?
Well,
yes, how about
I
we
don't want
set
them
their
to sleep
camps
on
on
the bench,
fire?
so I also won't sit on the
Exactly.
bench.
What if there was yellow
Nobody gets
paint
a
all
bench.
over the benches?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a good chat about that. I don't know about other gripes though. Other gripes in games. I feel like we're a very forgiving crowd when it comes to game design. There's usually a reason, even if it's a bad implementation. So I don't know if I have a gripe. I think. Oh, you know what? I'll add in almost any live service games menu. Like Fortnite is a disaster. I know everything's going back to Fortnite.
Your gripe is them
right
being
now.
bad?
Just
Okay, just because the question is gamer
Impossible.
gripes that we don't understand. It's cool. We can just list gripes. That's fine. I just want to make sure. I was just checking. That's all.
Oh, sorry. You're right. I was just dropping a gripe.
We can
in
just
there.
gripe. Let's gripe it up.
No,
We'll
you're
grind
fine.
your gears.
No, that is a better question for us. Sorry, I misinterpreted the question. I was too hung up on.
No, you know what? The menus do suck. I hate that everything's a cursor now. I want to just go through stuff with my control stick and flick through the settings. I get why it's
the
there.
Destiny
But fuck,
stuff.
it sucks. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have any other gamer gripes that people have
Yes.
that you don't like?
I fucking it makes me want to take up arms and take to the streets when I see people who, especially like people who only play AAA games, especially will like hop into indie game discourse and be like lazy fucking PS1 aesthetic, like they do like retro aesthetics because they can't do photorealistic Death Stranding 2 level shit. And it's like, do you think that fucking Van Gogh painted like that because he didn't like because cameras weren't in his possession? Like,
lazy.
do you think that like Picasso painted like that because he was dumb?
He didn't know how to do circles.
Yeah,
That was his problem.
that shit drives me fucking nuts because it's like
Yeah.
it is a culturally ignorant perspective on aesthetic, and it is also a technically ignorant perspective on the ways that small games get made, especially by like solo developers and small teams. It's like committing to a low poly or low fidelity aesthetic is not only an artistic choice but also a production pipeline choice.
Sort of on a similar thing, I think some of the reactions to difficulty and accessibility get real political for some reason very, very quickly. Like, I understand that there's a conversation to be have between making games accessible and not making them too easy, but like if you have the option to do the hard one, I think it touches upon my personal long-running gripe that gamers think that games are trying to not let them beat them when they are in fact doing the opposite. They are doing not all games, but like the vast majority of games are attempting to drag you through this process so that you see as much of them as possible. And I think there are a lot of people who think of games like arcade games were, maybe, you know, where like they actually are trying to kill you so that you put more money in, or like, you know, a sport or a physical achievement that you're trying to drive towards, something that is like difficult to achieve. And I think that's where a lot of that stuff comes from, is people being like, don't make games easy. Then all the noobs can beat them.
This is my one skill.
It's just so macho and, you know, just bullshit, sort of idiotic, toxic masculinity shit, and it usually comes from younger kids. I think younger men who just.
I do have another yellow point nuance take on this, which is that I think that difficulty can be. I think that it is good that certain games are made for veteran gamers and high skill gamers. Like, I think that is a specific type of game experience to overcome a very difficult game, and I think that FromSoft have a very clever way of solving this, which is that I think if Dark Souls had an easy setting, it would change the experience. I think having a fundamental, canonical one type of the game experience that you can have is an important part of the experience, because then you feel like you overcame it. However, I think that the summoning, the option to summon and use the like Ashes of War in Elden Ring, and in Dark Souls you can summon like the NPCs or real people. I think that that's the perfect solution, because there will always be like shitlords who are like, oh, well, you've only really beat the game if you didn't summon.
You summon for bells? What are you?
Those people are fucking stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
But Like
Ding-a-ling every fucking time I can.
Get that mimic tear out, baby.
Yeah.
I think that the summoning is the perfect solution because I think it allows people who don't want to commit themselves to like a masochistic experience to still beat the same game and still say they beat the same game. And I think that is part of the joy of Dark Souls is like climbing the mountain. You know what I mean? Like if you drive up Mount Washington and get the sticker that says this car climbed Mount Washington, it's like you didn't climb Mount Washington, you drove up the back of it, right? But it's like if Mount Washington has handrails on the climbing part, you know, and there's people like, oh, did you use the handrails when you climbed it? It's like those people suck. You climbed the fucking mountain whether or not you use the handrail, you know?
Yeah. Also, quote unquote casual games in the way they sort of like, I hate that phrasing, but it's, you know, farming games. Really, if we're totally being honest, games that the target audience isn't men exclusively, those games, the way they get derided and they're like forced into a corner, like, oh, you played that? That's not a real video game. That always drove me crazy. It's gotten, I haven't seen it too much in the last maybe couple, like 3 or 4 years, but especially with Animal Crossing becoming a lot more commonly enjoyed. But
and weirdly, like Cozy Games has somewhat sort of like, you know, appropriated that back in a more powerful way, you know?
100%.
Yeah. I just want to make a distinction. When I was saying accessibility, I should have done this at the start. When I was just saying accessibility with difficulty, I was speaking about accessibility for people who require it rather than easy modes. But I think that is part of the conversation. You know what I mean? Yeah, because there's also pushback from people about like having assisted gameplay stuff within games.
I think
that
if
are
you're saying
difficult.
that, just fuck off.
Yeah, people, but I think they try and appropriate that argument into a conversation about get good, which I think is just like, you know, stupid.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like I'm fucking colorblind. They're like, why don't you just fucking get some more cones and rods and shit, bro?
What does Forza have like ASL in it? That's so stupid. Like, shut up, dude. What are you talking about?
Do you think they chose yellow because it's that's not one of the colorblind colors, right? Like, is there any color blindness where yellow is? I'm sure if you're fully colorblind for sure, but I've never heard of yellow as a.
Yellow has other like it's made up of other colors, like it has green in it. So like I'm deuteranopic, so my inability to perceive green correctly might change the way in which I perceive yellow, but I'm not sure actually.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I do have a strange urge to climb Jesse's beanie though.
Yeah, it's looking real good. Can you know the difference between a fresh and a ripe banana? A ripe and a unripe?
Yes, actually, I can.
Hey, okay. I think you're good. That's the test they give you.
How many fingers? How many fingers do I have? I'm holding it up.
Does it look weird when I do this?
Yeah. Hate that.
How many fingers? That's it there. Special bonus for the YouTube.
Does it look weird when I do this? Just sun is tripping, so it doesn't look weird when I do this.
Oh, man.
That'd be like, yeah, that does look fucking weird.
You're optometrist. You've read out like all the lines on the board and they're like, okay, now can you see what I'm doing here?
Your optometrist is like, how many fingers am I holding up? He flips you off.
Yeah. What about that?
Oh, we're making emotes today, baby.
And the listeners, there's going to be more listeners who have crossed over to watch the rest of this on the YouTube now than ever before. That's a podcast, folks. Not the longest this week, but we did record several hours which came out over the weekend. So, you know, I got some angry Blue Sky messages from people saying, please don't release this much podcast. So I'm going to feel like I'm left behind. Tough shit. That's the accessibility that we're like, no, get good at listening to the podcast.
Put it on 4x speed.
Go for a long drive. Yeah, 4x. Wow. That's upsetting. Yes. And send your new emails. And podcast@noclip.video, as Frank said earlier. Thank you all so much for hanging out today. Our Game of the Year videos are all up. Myself, Jeremy, Jesse, Frank, no caps, all produced. Little videos you can watch that talk about some of our favorite games of 2025. Of course, we have all of those Game of the Year podcasts as well for you to listen to. On the Noclip side, Disco Elysium episode 3 has gone up. Episode 4 will be out, I think, by the time this goes up. It's about art. Alexander Rostov. Talking about art and the way he paints his circles and triangles. We are also going to have episode 5 then up for early access patrons as well. So keep an eye out for that. The patron show for this month as well is going up soon. So there'll be plenty for you to check in on. What are you guys doing for the rest of the week? Frank, you hitting up round 1 a few more times?
I actually am on Thursday. Yeah. Yeah, my thing has been like I'll edit a little bit of the documentary, and then everyone in the thing is talking about DDR, and it makes me want to go play. And then my rule is I can't go play again until I've edited a little bit more.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like it. I also do want to finish beating Ace Combat 7 and then come back next week and talk about it. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Looking forward to hearing about that. Jesse, what are you up to?
Yeah, it's a big house building day. Not literally building a house, but building stuff inside of the house. It's we're getting ready for a child, so getting the rooms all ready, doing a lot of building. Built a bunch of furniture for our bedroom this weekend, which was a lot of fun and also exhausting. I'm very tired.
Have you built the crib? Have you done the thing? Have you taken the picture?
Not yet. I don't even know if we're going to. I don't decide any of that. The wife does. I mean, I would love to. I pick and choose things. But for that stuff, she's like, "Why would we get a crib? It's just going to sleep in the same bed as us for like 6 months. Don't worry about it." And I'm like,
bassinet that shit.
Yeah, exactly. We could just do it that way. So I'm not stressing on that. But we're also going to a really nice new restaurant, and I think we're going to go watch the new Ralph Fiennes movie at our local art house theater.
Not 28 years later, the Bone Temple.
Bone Temple. No. I forget what it's called. It's one about him and a bunch of students I think around World War II. I can't remember what it's called for the life of me, but
it sounds like a Ralph Fiennes movie.
Yeah, right. He loves doing that stuff. I can't. I'm trying to load the website here, but it's Ralph.
He went to school in my hometown for 1 year. I don't know why. He went to the boarding school in Newtown.
He heard about you and he was like, "I got to check out this Danny O'Dwyer guy." The Choral is the name of the movie. It's a choir of young men that he works with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen, what was the Pope
Conclave?
one again? Yeah, Conclave. Love that.
You didn't have to say anything else. Just have you seen? I knew the
Pope
menu.
one.
No, yeah, Conclave. Conclave was great. I really enjoyed that. He's great. In that.
You watched any good movies recently, Jeremy?
What do I watch recently? No, not really. I've been kind of in the holiday game dev marathon and then straight into GOTY stuff. I do want to renew my Criterion Channel subscription though. Yeah, there's some especially some of Kurosawa's older stuff I want to get into. I like Kurosawa's stuff that isn't Jidaigeki, isn't samurai and stuff like High and Low and Drunken Angel are some of my favorites.
What was the one you watched? It was about the old man on his last day of work or something.
Harakiri? But I don't think that's that.
Ikiru?
I forget.
Ikiru is fucking amazing.
My Kurosawa, that's my shame. Black hole. I need to stop playing less Fortnite and watching more.
You
Kurosawa.
should get a huge bottle of any liquor of your choice. Yeah, sake would be great, and just watch Seven Samurai if you've never seen it.
Okay, I've seen scenes, and that's it. Yeah, I gotta check that out. It's a big blind spot. I have a couple of movies I watched. I watched 2,000 Meters to Andriivka. Do you know about this? This is the sequel to is it 12 Days in Mariupol? I forget the 20 Days in Mariupol, which is the most harrowing war documentary I have ever watched. Absolutely wept for most of it. 20 Days in Mariupol. I think that's what it's called. Is it 20? I forget.
Yeah, it's 20.
It's absolutely incredible. It's a really honest look at the work of photojournalists and also that question of, is it worth it? Is it actually worth it spending all this time in these dangerous places, sending footage back? Or is the world numb to this now? A very honest look at that, I think, which is pretty important, I think. And 2,000 Meters to Andriivka is basically a sequel to that. It is about this insane... if you had shown me this in a video game, I'd be like, there's no fucking way this happened. But basically, it was a 2,000 meter stretch of woodland, which is only maybe 100 yards wide. And on either side were just flat fields with mines in them. So the only way they could get to this town was through this strip of wood that was a mile long and only 100 yards wide. And so it's just trench to trench warfare between Ukrainians and Russians on this strip of forest in this otherwise, agriculturalized area of Eastern Ukraine. And yeah, it was not as upsetting as 20 Days in Mariupol, but still very just mournful and fucked up. And it just shows you you close your eyes and you go, that's happening right now. Like there are people who right now in Ukraine who are going through that still, and it's because you're watching it going like, this feels like something from World War One. This is like, how are people still doing this? This is insane.
We need to be invaded by aliens, and they need to take over the planet, and they need to be like, stop fucking fighting or we'll blow up Earth. And then I feel like that's the only thing. And they'll also decide that all shoe sizes are universal across the planet.
Thank goodness.
Fix all our
Finally,
feet.
something useful.
I need to talk to you. I don't want to spoil anything anywhere, so I'm going to talk to you about a TV show you should watch once we turn off. Okay, just because.
I know exactly what it is. I think.
Yeah, I feel like
okay, you do. Okay,
already given it away. If you put the pieces
good.
of this episode together, you can figure
exactly.
it out.
Okay. Good. All right, that's a shot. I don't know what I'm doing for the way. I'm moving more shit into the barn, trying to get out there so I can film more stuff. And yeah, editing this got easier. It's been the story of my life for the past 3 months. So almost done. The last episode. This episode's the hardest, I think, but we're almost done. All right, that's a pod, folks. Thanks so much for hanging out, and we'll see you next time on the Noclip podcast. Peace.